Imagine sitting in a meeting where financial reports are being discussed. Everyone seems to understand the numbers, except you. Do you nod along, hoping no one asks for your input, or do you feel confident enough to contribute meaningfully to the conversation? In financial intelligence, Karen Berman and Joe Knight demystify the world of finance, showing that you don't need to be a CPA to understand the numbers. They teach that financial literacy is an essential skill for managers, leaders, and professionals in any field. This audiobook summary, by AudiblePages, will break down complex financial concepts into simple, actionable insights. You'll learn how to read financial statements, understand the difference between profit and cash flow, and grasp key metrics that drive business decisions. By the end, you'll have the financial knowledge you need to analyze reports, ask insightful questions, and make informed decisions that add value to your organization. Part 1. The Art of Finance, Chapter 1. Financial Literacy for Managers. The authors emphasize the importance of financial literacy for managers. They argue that understanding financial data isn't just for accountants. It's crucial for anyone who wants to make a meaningful impact in their organization. The authors stress that financial statements tell a story about a company's performance, and learning to interpret that story is key to making informed business decisions. Think about how much more confident you'd be in your job if you could read financial reports with ease. The authors teach that financial intelligence empowers you to contribute to strategic conversations. Start by familiarizing yourself with the basic financial statements: the income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. Understanding these documents will give you a solid foundation for financial literacy. Chapter 2. The Four Cornerstones of Financial Intelligence. The authors introduce the four cornerstones of financial intelligence. 1. Understanding the basics of financial statements. 2. Understanding the art of finance. 3. Understanding the big picture. 4. Understanding how to ask questions. Consider how each of these cornerstones builds on the others to give you a comprehensive understanding of finance. The authors teach that financial intelligence is about knowing what questions to ask and being able to think critically about the numbers. Focus on developing a curiosity about the numbers. When you see a financial report, don't just accept it at face value. Ask questions about the estimates, assumptions, and context behind the data. Part 2. The Mechanics of Financial Statements. Chapter 3. The Income Statement. The authors explain the income statement, also known as the profit and loss statement. They break down key components like revenue, cost of goods sold, gross profit, operating expenses, and net income. The authors emphasize that understanding how these elements work together helps you analyze a company's profitability. Think about how often you hear terms like revenue and profit margin without fully understanding what they mean. The authors teach that the income statement is like a report card for a company's financial performance. Review an income statement from your organization and try to identify the major sources of revenue and the biggest expenses. Understanding where the money comes from and where it goes will give you insight into the company's profitability. Chapter 4. The Balance Sheet. The authors move on to the balance sheet, which provides a snapshot of a company's financial position at a specific point in time. They explain assets, liabilities, and shareholders' equity, highlighting the fundamental equation: assets equals liabilities plus equity. The authors emphasize that the balance sheet shows what the company owns, what it owes, and what's left for the shareholders. Consider how the balance sheet can reveal a company's financial health. The authors teach that it's important to look at both sides of the equation to understand the business's stability and leverage. Take a look at your company's balance sheet and identify its major assets and liabilities. Consider how these numbers impact the overall financial health of the organization and what that means for strategic decisions. Chapter 5. The Cash Flow Statement. The authors highlight the cash flow statement, which tracks the movement of cash in and out of the business. They explain the three categories of cash flow: operating activities, investing activities, and financing activities. The authors stress that a company can be profitable on paper, but still run into trouble if it doesn't have enough cash to pay its bills. Think about how important cash flow is for keeping a business running smoothly. The authors teach that understanding cash flow is crucial for assessing a company's financial stability. Analyze your company's cash flow statement to see where cash is coming from and where it's going. Pay particular attention to cash from operating activities, as this indicates the business's ability to generate cash from its core operations. Part 3. The Art of Finance and Key Metrics Chapter 6. The Role of Assumptions and Estimates. The authors explain that finance is as much an art as it is a science. Many numbers on financial statements are based on estimates and assumptions, such as depreciation, inventory valuation, and accounts receivable. The authors emphasize that understanding these assumptions can help you interpret the numbers more accurately. Think about how easily numbers can be manipulated based on different assumptions. The authors teach that questioning these assumptions is key to developing financial intelligence. The next time you review financial statements, ask about the assumptions behind key numbers. Understanding how estimates were made will give you a clearer picture of the financial data. Chapter 7. Profit versus cash flow. The authors discuss the difference between profit and cash flow, explaining that many people mistakenly use these terms interchangeably. Profit is what's left after all expenses are deducted from revenue, while cash flow refers to the actual movement of money in and out of the business. The authors emphasize that a company can be profitable but still run into financial trouble if it doesn't manage its cash flow properly. Consider how crucial it is to understand the difference between making a profit and having enough cash on hand. The authors teach that cash flow is the lifeblood of any business. Monitor both profit and cash flow in your organization. Even if your company is profitable, make sure there's enough cash available to cover operating expenses and unexpected costs. Chapter 8. Understanding Key Financial Metrics. The authors cover key financial metrics that managers should know, such as gross margin, operating margin, return on assets, and current ratio. They explain how these metrics provide insights into a company's efficiency, profitability, and financial stability. The authors also discuss how to use these metrics to compare performance over time and against industry benchmarks. Think about how powerful it is to speak the language of finance and use these metrics to inform strategic decisions. The authors teach that understanding financial ratios can make you a more effective and confident manager. Familiarize yourself with a few key financial metrics that are relevant to your role. Use these metrics to assess the company's performance and identify areas for improvement. Comparing these metrics over time can help you spot trends and make better decisions. Part 4. Making Financial Intelligence Work for You. Chapter 9. Using financial intelligence in decision-making. The authors explain how to apply financial intelligence to real-world decision-making. They discuss scenarios like budgeting, investing in new projects, and managing costs. The authors emphasize that financial intelligence helps you weigh the potential risks and benefits of different options, ensuring you make choices that align with the company's strategic goals. Consider how much more effective you'd be in your role if you could back up your decisions with solid financial reasoning. The authors teach that financial literacy is a competitive advantage in any field. Use financial data to inform your decisions. Whether you're proposing a new initiative or evaluating cost-cutting measures, understanding the numbers will help you make a compelling case and minimize risk. Chapter 10. Building Your Financial Confidence. In the final chapter, the authors encourage readers to build their financial confidence by continuously learning and asking questions. They emphasize that financial intelligence is a skill that can be developed over time, and it's okay to admit when you don't know something. The authors also highlight the importance of collaborating with finance professionals and using financial data to drive meaningful conversations. Think about how much more valuable you'd be to your organization if you felt confident in your financial knowledge. The authors teach that financial intelligence is a journey, not a destination. Commit to ongoing financial education. Read financial reports regularly, ask questions, and seek out opportunities to deepen your understanding. Confidence comes with practice and a willingness to learn. Practical advice and wrap-up. Karen Berman Joe Knight's Financial Intelligence equips you with the knowledge and skills to understand and use financial data effectively. By mastering the basics of financial statements, asking the right questions, and applying key metrics, you can make informed decisions that add value to your organization. Remember, financial literacy isn't about being perfect. It's about being curious, proactive, and continuously learning. Whether you're a manager, entrepreneur, or professional in any field, developing financial intelligence can transform the way you work and make you a more confident and strategic thinker. Start today by reviewing your company's financial statements and familiarizing yourself with the key metrics. Don't be afraid to ask questions or seek guidance from colleagues in the finance department. With time and practice, you'll gain the confidence to analyze financial data and use it to make smarter decisions.